Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Oshinoko episode number 6 reaction. Okay, so the previous episode we got Aima in our group, in our newly formed idol group. Now obviously she and Ruby are the only two ones who are in the idol group. However, they do need to start somewhere. So at first Aima wasn't really that keen on joining, but then she kind of commented on how she thinks that even though it's a risky move, she thinks that Ruby is someone who can succeed, and that's why she's like ready to take this gamble, and also with a little persuasion from Aqua, yeah. And then we also get to see the dating reality TV show and see how it's going on over there. We meet a few new characters over there, and yeah, stuff happens over there. Now, in the end, we do collaborate with one of the highest, biggest YouTubers, Paon, to kind of promote Ruby and Arima's new form idol group. Ruby didn't want to take the easy way out, so she decided to go through the difficult process. That is 1 hour of continuous, like I think like they were doing like some kind of like exercises and stuff on camera, with the mask, and they were able to do it. So in the end, showed their identity, showed their faces, and announced their new name, which will be Bikomachi. So obviously, this is a very risky move. Taking Bikomachi's name means a lot of fans will be keeping an eye on them, and if something happens, if they're not able to provide like Bikomachi did, yeah, people will not be happy. They'll be like, oh, you took Bikomachi's name and this is what you're doing. You know? So, but if they're able to provide good content, yeah, people will love them even more. So let us see what happens in this episode, episode number 6. Let us get started. So I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm really curious as to how Memcho will become one of their members of the idol group, because we see in the opening that Memcho will be the third member of Bikomachi, of the new Bikomachi. So I do wonder how is that going to happen, because she is in the dating reality show. So I'm guessing Aqua will probably introduce her to them or something. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. All right. Here we go. What? Wait. Is this part of the? Okay. Is this part of the script or? Hmm. Oh boy. Yeah. Wait, is this for real? Damn. Yeah. Okay, I feel like this is part of the script. Oh yeah, it is part of the script. Yep, there you go. Ah! Well, I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, obviously. What was that then? Then what was that? Oh my god, that's even scarier. She brought that out. Alright, interesting. Oh, yeah, also that the tears were like because of her yawning. Yep, skillful. Ah. Oh, and what about you? Akun, that's what they call it. Akun. Wow. 80-20. That's a lot. Flap meat. Hmm. Wait, what? Hmm. Hmm. She's keeping all the notes, you know? Wow. Yeah, you think that's the face of satisfaction? That's not satisfaction. Oh, that's why Ruby's mad. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, like that girl did, like enhancing her. True. No, yeah, it varies. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Ah! Wow. Okay, well, don't choose reality. Yeah, I also thought like I, w- I also had like the same impression as Aqua, but after seeing this, yeah, but still, like for the people, yeah, the people who are doing this, the actors and actresses, it's all part of the show. Wow. All right, and then they all faded in the background. Uh, this is the thing he was talking about. Yeah, like it's kind of becoming melded with reality. I'll talk about this in the discussion section. Yeah, he doesn't care about the show. He just wants information about his mom. True. Yeah, the other girl, what's her name? Yeah, like she isn't really getting any kind of like she's just keeping notes. Oh yeah, she's an actress, isn't she? Yeah. Damn, what the whoa. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, at least the manager is helping her out. But I guess oh boy. Something more extreme. Oh boy, she's gonna do something crazy, I feel like. Okay, don't do that. Don't misuse your power. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you won't get sponsorship. Maybe they would have. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like, oh boy. Yeah. Search history. Ruby was, cute. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Speaking from experience. Damn. Yeah, exactly. Hmm. Yuki-chan is no presence. Oh boy. I feel like she's gonna do something crazy. What the? Alright. Oh, really? Hmm. What will. Yeah, young people? Oh no, here we go. Oh boy, this is. Oh, oh no. Wait, you know what? There's one thing I have to say. Wow. Oh boy. Okay. Hmm. She. Oh boy. Like, what can I say? I'll talk about all of this in the discussion section. Ooh. Hmm. Yuki's frank and I really support her. Yeah, I was going to say this. Like, she's taking the villain's role here, if you think about it. Like, obviously, she'll get her, like, presence out, but in a bad way. Still, I guess that is. Okay. Oh boy. Oh no, she's going to. Oh. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Wait, what? Wait, did she like. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, okay, this is not good. This is not good. Wait, did she did that deliberately? Oh no! I feel like she, not her, the other girl, the one who got hurt. I forgot her name. I feel like she did that deliberately because she was the one who. Is it really? I don't know. I'm second guessing myself now. Okay, I'm not sure now. Okay, I'm still not sure. For a moment I thought she did that deliberately, but now looking at her, because she was the one who did her nails, you know. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, now the camera's not on, so like, the audience. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I knew this was going to happen. Yep. Thank you for watching the show. Fan of love now. You should just stay in the bottom thread. Oh God. Here we go. Here we go. Twitter is at it again. Twitter is at it again. Yup. Oh God. No, it won't work. It won't work. Yup. Like, this is social media. If you try to apologize without any. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Apologize for. Damn. No, you should keep, like, not look at it. That's the Yeah, I was. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh no. It's her school as well. I forgot about that. Yeah, like. Ugh. Ugh. Wow. Oh boy, this. What? Oh yeah, because. Ajit. It's crazy, like how people are talking smack about her, and she's the one who's struggling the most. Like the people who are talking smack, they're not doing anything. They're just blabbering. Oh God. Wait, what? Oh boy. Heck, what the hell? People are. What is happening? Oh my God. What the? Oh my God. Okay, please do not. Oh no. Oh. Oh no, please. All right. Oh my God. Okay, I Oh my god, no, no. Okay, thank God. Alright, is this Aqua? Okay, there you go. I felt like Aqua would be the one who could understand the situation the most because, like, he has went through this. He and Ruby, after, like, like the whole like her when their mom was getting criticism. Like, I was the type of person who couldn't care less about this. However, this girl, Akane, I think that's her name, like they explained, that she's the serious type. She is the type of person who's going to take everything seriously, which is very badly matched in this type of an industry where you cannot listen to others. Like, if you listen to others, like, yeah, obviously take constructive criticism, but not these crap. So she's the type of person who's going to take everything to heart, and this might actually make her do stuff like this. So I feel like Aqua was probably the only one who could relate to this situation because he actually saw this before, and he has, like, he knows what someone might try to do in this type of situation. But I don't know how he found out where she was. Like, how did she find her? He find her. That's one thing I'm not sure about. Like, how did he know that she's there in that situation? Oh, I think they were like messaging or something in the group message. Yeah, that's probably why. She said something about I'm going to go have some food, and they were like, oh, it says of typhoon. Why are you going now? Probably reading that, Aqua probably, like, yeah. Oh wow, they added like a, yeah, that was nice. Okay. Oh my god. From a moment I was like, okay, like this is this is the show that actually killed off the main the supposedly main character, the character who we thought was going to be the main character in the first episode. So I didn't know what to expect. So thankfully, yeah, like it didn't go in a bad direction. Like, okay, so this episode, one thing I need to check here. First of all, there was one section where I actually thought that what's the name of that girl, the other girl, the popular girl, where I thought that she was the one who deliberately did her nails like that so that she anticipated this would happen, like, where she would scratch her and it's going to gain more popularity and like more notice. This was a section where I thought that, but by the end of it, I was like, maybe not. Okay, I'm going to go to that scene. I'm going to see this scene again, like this part where, like, she did Memcho's like, nails, and he's like, oh, I'm going to do yours to Akane. Come here. Like, we have to keep in mind that she did this after Akane started becoming proactive. After that scene where she went and talked to, what was his name, Nobu or something, tried to talk to him and took him aside. This is the scene just after that. So this is one thing we have to keep in mind. Now we get to see Akane comes and sits down. She's like doing her nails, and she asks a few questions to Akane about, oh, are you anxious lately? All right, let me see the nails first. Okay, the show is nearing its end. I get how you feel. Okay, I want to. Okay, not these. Like, where's that part where? Yeah, in the end, she's like, okay, I see. Alright, this part. What is that? She takes something out like a tweezer from the tweezer with the tweezer, like that little heart shaped thing. What is that? She says, I'm going to fight so that I can stand out. Don't hold it against me. Like, these things are making me a little bit suspicious of her because, like, I'm so confused. I genuinely don't know whether she did this deliberately or was this all a coincidence. Like, there's like 50% of me telling that, like, all these things that she's saying here, that, oh, don't hold it against me, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, like, I'm going to struggle as well, and do whatever it takes to take all the attention from myself, because yeah, that is how they do, like, like everyone's here is fighting. Like, obviously, like what she, like, even if she did this deliberately, I cannot really blame her, because this is all part of the whole game that is going on here. Every individual actor and actresses will try to stand out, be it however it is, and I doubt this girl had any type of wrong intention if she did this deliberately. If she, that whole nail thing that she did. You know what? Let me check her. What's her name? I'm getting, like, it's really bothering me because I cannot really. What's the name of the other girl? Where would I even search it? The fashion model. I'm talking about that girl. Her. Like, what I'm trying to say here is, if she did this, like, in a, like, like, in a way to kind of attract more attention, and did this deliberately, the whole nail thing that she did, because she was fixing her nail, I won't really be able to, like, like, criticize her much, because, like I said, everyone's doing their thing here. Everyone's here to fight. This is kind of like a battle for each and every one of them. Like, everyone's doing stuff that, like, because, like, as we saw, Memcho says, like, I don't really care about what's going on, because I'm just getting my more subscribers. I'm happy with that. Like, to that guy Nobu, or whatever his name is, he's doing his part, he's becoming popular. This girl, the fashion model girl, she's also doing her part, she's becoming popular. That other guy, the white-haired guy, he's also kind of like in this central position, if you think about it. Like, he's also getting popular, so everyone's standing out in a way. Aqua doesn't care, because his main goal is obviously getting information, so he doesn't care, he could care less. So everyone's doing what they intend to do. Memcho wanted her subscribers, she's getting that. Everyone's getting what they wanted, except her, Akane. So she wanted to stand out as well, so that is why she tried to do that. While this girl, the fashion model girl, she was like, all right, you know what? Like, I'm also giving my best. Like, I'm going to do everything to stand out. So don't hold it against me, okay? Like, these kind of, I don't know, indicates to me that maybe, like, that little heart-shaped thing that she put on her nail, I think that's like an ornament, isn't it? Like, like the little nail things that you put. I'm not really sure what that is. I think that's what it is. Like, like, you put in the nails as like a little fashion, like, thing, I'm guessing. Okay, like, you can see here that Akane then, like, gets her nail done, and there you go. Now, here's the thing. She goes and tries to stop in the next scene, what we see, where that fashion model girl comes in, and she's like, oh, there's a Labrador, come here. And Akane goes and is like, stop it. Yeah, it's that. Okay, there you go. That is the one that cut her cheek. Yeah, so there you go. It was like a misplacement or something like that, I'm guessing. Like, wasn't properly, like, like, placed it. Now, here's the thing. What I'm trying to think here is that, like, was this really part of the fashion model girl's plan to make the whole thing spicier so that all attention falls on them again? Like, I feel it's so hard to believe that everything went according to her plan, and she did her nails and everything, anticipating that this is going to happen. If that is what actually happened, that is why I'm not really believing this whole thing. I myself am skeptical about this whole situation. Like, if what I was thinking is correct, if she did this deliberately, the whole nail thing, anticipating that all of this is going to happen, my God, hats off to you. Like, just I don't know, like, I'll respect her even more. Like, she's like like in Death Note, L level, like, like anticipation. No, not what was that word? The way she kind of, like, saw the future as to what's going to happen if she does this. If that is what happens, if she anticipated all of this, my God, hats off to her. Like, how is it possible that she anticipated all of this? And that is why I'm so skeptical about this whole situation. Like, I'm not really believing, but she acted extremely suspicious in that scene where she was like, I'm going to do everything that I can to, like, like, to stand out, this and that, all of that thing. The fact that she was also the one who did her nails. So that's why I'm saying 50-50. In my head, she either did this anticipating that this is going to happen, and she was like, yeah, this is going to spice up the show more, or she didn't know any of it. It was all a coincidence. Like, I'm really curious as to see what's going to happen from here, because this part is kind of bothering me. maybe I'm looking too much into it, like maybe I'm just like, like I'm too suspicious of people. That's why I'm suspecting him, even when she probably has nothing to do with it. She just, from her bottom of her, like, heart, she, from her own goodness, decided to do her nails, and everything that happened from that point on was a coincidence. Like, I will really be, what can I say, embarrassed if none of it was actually like part of the plan. It probably isn't. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Let's wait. Like like hats off to her. If this really was part of her plan, like good God, you're in the wrong anime. You need to go to Death Note or something. Like with your level of like thing, like the way she kind of anticipated the whole thing. If that's actually what's happening, yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this. A really good episode. A lot of things happens here. Like crazy developments. This whole episode was dedicated with the reality show. If you think about it, in the beginning we get to see how this girl. Okay, what is her name? Oh my God. Just a minute. Let me see if they actually tell her name here. Yuki. That's her name. I found it finally. Yuki. Yeah, Yuki. Okay, so it's a very like simple name. I think I can remember it. Yuki. That's her name. All right. So you can see that she was like kind of like, oh, I need to go. Like I'll not be able to continue this because my like like my friends are like teasing me and everything, and everyone's like, no, don't go. And Nobu's like, then I'll also go. And she's like, Nobu kun. You know what the funny part is? I feel like Nobu here, as they kind of explained later on, that Nobu's actually very straightforward. He probably thought this was for real. He probably thought that she really wanted to leave. That's the thing. So, like, as we can see, like, this was all like a part of the play. Yuki's like, oh, look at this. Like, like, I got more viewers. Like, I'm standing out more. And, so obviously Akane is like, I'm going to leave, and she's like, obviously not. Like, I'm contract bound. Like, I cannot do that. And so you can see that in the like in the background, as off camera, they're also good friends. And like they're like, just obviously everyone's doing their thing. Everyone's playing their game because this is part of their whole thing. They need to stay like like relevant. So everyone's doing their best to stand out. But back like behind camera, everyone's good friends, that type of thing. But like still it is like a bit of a competition, so people who really are not able to, like, this is the thing, another thing that they kind of showed here, which is kind of interesting. Like in a way, I got to know a few like interesting thing here. First of all, they kind of highlights in this episode how there's like a distinction, like we have to keep our heads clear and realize that whatever's happening here on camera and whatever's happening off camera should always be kept distinct. In no way whatever's happening on camera should merge with reality. That is a recipe for disaster. Because as you can see here, there's a few characters who were kind of getting, I guess you could say, bothered. And like like Aqua also mentioned this, like the fact that there's no script is actually kind of scarier, because like if there's a script, like obviously you're going to read the script and that's it, like over. You will be able to properly distinguish between reality and like fake. So you won't really like your roles on camera won't merge with your real life. In this situation, since there's no script, it's even more scarier and dangerous, because whatever's happening is basically happening, like, yeah, you're over exaggerating your reactions and everything, but whatever's happening on camera isn't scripted. It's happening normally. Only thing you're doing here, the only part that is scripted is you're probably over exaggerating that, like, whole thing, and doing a little stuff here and there, but most of the things are unscripted. So the scary part here is that people might actually, like, everyone who's like in this show, they might actually start having like start forgetting that this is actually a role. So on camera, if you're like the rival of one person, like for example that whole love triangle thing, as they were showing, that like Yuki was there in the middle while Nobu was like the main hero or whatever, while there's this the other guy, the white-haired guy, he was like the person who like liked Yuki, but like whole that whole love triangle thing. If like none of those are scripted, if you think about it, so there's a possibility of the guy who was like the person who liked Yuki was part of the love triangle. He might start having these feelings in reality as well, which might, like I said, which is a recipe for disaster in these type of situations. That is why I feel like Aqua was highlighting in this episode that having script would have been easier in this situation. Not having a script in this situation is even more dangerous, and it does make the interactions on camera more real, because it isn't scripted, and it makes the whole thing spicier, which is exactly what the directors and everyone, all of them want. And that's why they were like, oh, I cannot really order you to do this, but if you want to, you can do this. This is going to change the whole thing. They're not ordering anyone because they need to keep this as real as possible. And if they're able to keep it as real as possible, they'll be able to get that spicy, like that developments. If it's all scripted, yeah, you might be able to do a better job by scripting the whole thing and acting, but you won't be able to get that reality, that realism, that spiciness won't really come. So that thing, and it's very interesting when in watching this episode, I actually realized what Aqua was trying to say is like 100% true. Like they could have easily scripted this. I don't think it would have been a problem. But why did the directors and the producers think that decide that they shouldn't have a script? Because of this. They wanted this genuine raw reaction. This whole merging of like on camera and off camera personas, which is going to make the whole thing even more entertaining. So that's the whole thing that's going on here. And here, okay, I'm going to read this part. Aqua says here, after spending time together on the show and seeing the cast open up, I got a sense of their personalities. Those who are skillful, which is obviously Yuki and Memcho. One who is not two-faced, yet still distinctive. Nobu, that Nobu guy. Those who don't come across well on TV and get little screen time, that white-haired dude. And Akane, while he is obvious. Yeah. So you can see here that Nobu's like, Akun, let's go grab something to eat. Like I said, everyone's good friends here, and they're like all good friends and buddy, and they're like, oh, Memcho, treat us. They're like, I heard that you're getting 50-50, and wait, so Akane's manager, they gave them 80-20? Really? Is that how it works? I feel like 80-20 is very bad, isn't it? I'm guessing 80% goes to the company and 20% goes to Akane. Is this the reality of? I guess maybe because she's like a new actress, or something like that. Yeah, probably because of that. But still, it's mess. 20, I feel like that's too low, isn't it? Or maybe that's how it goes in the showbiz business. I don't have any clue. But either way, obviously Memcho, I'm guessing she's kind of probably contracted with some kind of a company, probably a partner company or something, which is probably why she's 50-50 giving, that whole thing. Usually, as far as I know, whenever, back in those days of YouTube, I remember everyone was contact, kind of had a contact with a company, every big YouTubers, and everyone had a company with them who were kind of their partner or whatever. That's how YouTube worked. It was very recently that company wise, that whole thing got abolished, and people independent creators became more easily accessible to YouTube. And nowadays, without any company, you can start a YouTube channel and earn money from it. The whole AdSense program or whatever, all that stuff started very recently. Back in those days, no. If you wanted to be YouTuber, there was a lot of trouble. You couldn't really become a YouTube, you could become a YouTuber, but you wouldn't earn anything from it, from the get-go. You have to be relevant enough, then a company will probably come and contact you, and then all that stuff, you'll get money from it and all that. But as far as I know, even back in those days, the whole company was like 30/70, I think, as far as I remember, or was it 20/80? Like 20 would go to the company and 80 would go to the creator. Or maybe not. I'm not exactly sure. But I've heard like some places they were like, oh, 30/70. That's how it used to go. 50/50, I guess maybe because probably because I don't know. Like maybe because Memcho is like I don't know. Maybe it depends on the company, I guess. Like the amount they take. But yeah, I feel like 50/50 is a bit too much again. Like I said, 30/70 would have been fine. Like 70 goes to Memcho and 30 to the company because everything like most of the things Memcho is doing, isn't it? Like the hard work that they're putting is the individual people. Like yeah, the company is backing you. Obviously, they give you their influence and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Who am I to talk? I don't know about any of these things. So yeah, like maybe this is how it goes in the showbiz industry. But anyways, here you can see that they're like in the yakiniku place, and yeah. Okay, so Memcho and like it's like treating them and everything, like all that good stuff. You can see that Akane is still writing down the stuff, like the important things that might help her out. So Aqua comes back home. Obviously, Ruby is like, oh, like you're very happy, aren't you? Like like just getting fawned upon by girls eating yakiniku. And Aqua's in his head. Aqua's very happy because he can actually eat properly, unlike in his previous life where he had a lot of like stomach and thing problems, so he had to like control his diet. So he's like very happy. He's like, "Ah, I can eat properly. I can eat unlimited amounts of fatty meat, and my stomach feels fine." That was kind of funny, you know. Okay, so all right, so here you can see that Aqua talks about what type of like situation is over there. It's not really scripted, but at the same time, people kind of over exaggerate their reaction, which Aqua kind of mentions here that this is something that everyone else does as well. Like for example, in mixers, not even in mixers, maybe in other situations where you try to like when you're meeting someone for the first time, obviously you're not going to show your actual personality to them. You're going to be a little bit nicer to them because it's like the first time you're meeting. You don't know who that person is, that person doesn't know who you are. Right. The more you start meeting with them, talking with them, little by little you get more comfortable with them, and then you start showing your actual the way you live your life. Maybe you're extremely lazy or something. You start becoming more comfortable with them, and they also start become more comfortable with you. So you start showing your lazy tendencies to them, while they also show their original like thing. And yeah, this happens. So that's what Aqua is saying. Like everyone does that, like little now and then. So it's not really a big deal. Okay, so here a few questions come up which he kind of answers. The first question is that do you really fall in love on a reality dating shows? Y-chan, which is Yuki, she says that surprisingly I actually do, but the fans are watching, so I wouldn't want to take it too far on the show. Okay, Memo was like, definitely, I probably like developing a real feelings for a guy at a host club. True. I can kind of understand what she's trying to say here. Like it's like a like a adoration for like someone you won't be able to like we won't be able to be together with, that type of thing. Like fascination for actresses, that type of thing. Like yeah, you're fascinated with them. There's like a sense of like oh, I like this person, but at the same time that yeah, like these are all like you won't really, this is not going to become reality, that type of thing. That's Mencho's way of thinking. Just like like your your imaginary anime waifus, that type of thing. Never going to become real, but you do like them. That type of thing, so I can understand that. Keikun, this guy, he's like, when camera's on me, I go to work mode, so it's pretty doubtful. Yeah. While Akun, which is him, he's like, not a chance, this is just a joke to me. So, okay. Aqua says, I hadn't watched dating shows before, so my knowledge on the subject was lacking. I went in with all sort of biases, but they don't use reality as a selling point for nothing. There's less fakery than I'd imagined, which is so true. I also had the similar impression that Aqua had before I watched this. I also thought that most of the things are scripted, but looking at this, like like the way they're showing like the story, it does seem like it kind of makes sense that yeah, they actually wouldn't want to fake it, because what we watch in a reality show is to watch reality, and we want reality in it. That's why it's called reality show. So if they script the whole thing, obviously it will be just look like watching a movie or something. So it breaks the whole purpose of being a reality show. So I can understand what Aqua was telling, and up until now, like I really had a different impression. Even though now that I look at it, it makes so much sense that this is how it goes. And he says also that they show people's true natures on screen more than I had expected. True. Um, all right. So Ruby says obviously like a very like innocent question. She's like, isn't it good that it isn't very staged? Yeah, if you think about it from a very like very easy, like what can I say, like a very simple like way, yeah, you would think what Ruby's trying to say here is like is correct. Like, yeah, isn't it good that it isn't staged? Here we go. He says that Aqua says like that's likely true for the viewers. In a very simple way, you're looking at the what's happening. It might be same for the viewers, but lying is also the very best way to protect oneself. Well, there's no likely need to worry. Yeah, so there you go. Like what Aqua was trying to kind of say here is what we get to see in the later part. Like where Akane becomes too much like like into the whole like oh, I want to like stand out. That like that happened, and now people who are watching this, obviously off camera you saw how everyone was like, oh, it's fine, no problem, it's okay, don't worry, Akane, it's fine completely, like yeah, nobody cares, like everyone was like, yeah, it's fine, like it's an accident happens, we're good friends. The audience are like, oh, she's so bad, like she's doing this for jealousy, this and that, all those crazy bad stuff that they're like talking about in the tweets and everything. This is what happens. Like Aqua said, people who are watching this, they're like, oh, this is a reality TV show, so this is how this person is in reality, which is not true if you think about it. At the end of the day, it is a TV show. This is in reality, you know. But we as audience, we always like fall for the misconception that whatever's happening over there must be the person who is like that person must be like that. And also the fact that like the audience doesn't know, like I'm sure they know but they don't really think about it, that oh, whatever's happening, everyone's trying to do this like amping up the spiciness because they want to stand out. Like I'm sure the audience knows that, but whenever like the audience watches the show, they probably forget about it for a temporary time. They think like, oh, whatever's happening over there, this is what happens in reality. Like, oh, look at what a beautiful like like a moment, like where this person started having feelings for that person. This is definitely what happens in reality. Like but yeah, like no, that's not what happens most of the time, at least. Even over there, what's happening there is they're over exaggerating their feelings. So people forget that that actually isn't reality, even if it's called reality, like show, it isn't reality. So then they start like taking everything out on the actresses who are doing this. If they makes a little mistake, over, your career is over. Yeah, if it's a movie, if it's acting, obviously people know it's acting. This is a crazy thing, like I just thought about it. Yeah, even in acting, the people who are villains, they don't really get any type of flack because it's acting. People know that this is a movie, everyone is a paid actor. Like this person who's a villain is not a villain in the real world. However, since this is a reality TV show, we forget that this is also one form of acting. We think it is reality. And that is why whatever happens over there, like we think that is how that person is off camera. And yeah, and my god, like it's crazy what happened. So you can see here that as Aqua says, like from there onwards, what happened is like Nobu and Yuki, both of them became like the main couple. while Kengo, that's his name, Kengo looked at on with envy. Now here's the thing again, like I said, reality and on camera. Like, I don't know, I get the feeling that he really was envious in this situation, because obviously the fact that they are getting the screen time, that's number one. Number two is like I said, like this is a type of a reality TV show where nothing is scripted. So everything, all the interactions that are happening are actually happening, even though they're exaggerating a little bit. So you can say whatever's happening here is 80% reality with a little bit of spice, with the rest of it being a little bit spice sprinkled on it. So here, as Aqua says, that Kengo looking at them with envy, that is probably what is happening in reality as well. He is probably standing there at envy looking at them. It's not a scripted. Like, that is what I was saying. Like, it's kind of scary if you think about it, that the fact that there's no script kind of makes whatever's happening in the reality TV show like actually true. Like it like it's like the feelings that people are feeling there, most of them are actually what's happening over there, since there's no script. If I'm able to properly, like I don't know if I'm probably able to explain it, but that is what I think, like which makes it even more scarier. Like I said, like here, like in this whole love triangle or whatever that is going on, everyone's like, oh, this is happening on camera, but like since there's no script, it's also probably happening in reality as well, a little bit. Like the Kengo probably a little bit was envious in that situation, and like Yuki said, who knows, maybe I might start liking the other person, because none of this is scripted. Like I never thought about all of this, like now that I'm like looking at all of this, like I was like, oh, reality TV show, it's just half of them are scripted, none of this actually happens. That was my my way of looking at them. And Aqua also said that was also his way of looking at them. But now that we're looking at this, it makes sense so much that since there's no script, yeah, it is like, reality is there, it's like mixed with the whole thing, which makes it even more scarier and kind of unusual and weirder, because this is not solely like only for act, like not scripted, and it's like actually happening in reality. Anyways, enough of that. Okay, let's move on. So now here we can see that Memcho is kind of talking with Aqua, where Memcho's like, oh, like you see what's happening there, Aqua? And Aqua's like, yeah, like you don't want to go in that whole thing, you're not getting enough screen time. And she's like, I'm fine with it, I'm just here for my fans. And that's also true if you think about it. Like, she's a YouTuber, so the thing is, like, she has a dedicated fan base who will actually watch the show just for her, which is why she's fine with it. And obviously she wants some other external, like people to, like other people who never really know about them, for her to get popular amongst them as well. So for her, this is a very chill job. She's like, yeah, you know what, I have a dedicated fan base. I know there's like 20% of the people who are watching this show is watching this show just for me. They don't care about the other things that are happening. They're here just for me, and I'm happy with that. I just wanted that. And yeah, which is, it makes so much sense that she doesn't care about what happens. She doesn't even care if she doesn't get the enough screen time or whatever, but she's just happy with the fact that she's there in the show and she has a dedicated audience looking at her show. And she also tells Aqua that, oh, you're you're not doing it. And Aqua's, I think, what does Aqua say here? Okay, where's the part? I'm fine like this. I'll just play things safe until the show ends. That's what Aqua says. Alright, and then obviously Memcho says that, yeah, I'm just fine. I just want people to watch my YouTube channel, so that is why it's like an advertisement kind of thing, so I'm fine with it. And then she's like, what about you, Aqua? If you want to be serious, then I can actually, kind of kind of get involved in this. And Aqua's like, nah, I'm fine. But then she's like, I'm more concerned about Akane. Yeah, who's too serious about this. She's one of the nice, like, like people who takes everything seriously. And in this type of reality show, like, like, she she's not like used to this, and she's not really won't be able to properly play this whole thing because she's too serious. She's a good person from her heart. She cannot really manipulate other people. Like, whatever other people will tell her, she'll take it to heart. That type of person. So she's like, a good way to say she's honest to a fault. That type of thing. So you can see that there's a little section where we get to see she's like practicing like hard for her, like for her job. And then she overhears her manager getting chewed out by that other guy who was like, oh, like, what is she doing? Like, 10 minutes of screen time. I don't want that. Blah, blah, blah. Like, tell her to do her job properly. Like, she overhears that. The manager comes out, and the manager's like, it's fine, Akane. You do your best. Just. But obviously, Akane is like, kind of bothered by it. So Akane is like, all right, I have to do something. I have to work hard to keep make my mark. All right, then after that, a little bit we can see that a little section we get to see about Ruby and Arima, where Ruby was like going to like tweet something bad about something she didn't like. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? Are you mad? Like, if you say something bad, like, hopefully in the future, like, like, maybe they would want to sponsor us or something. That's completely going to get crushed. Don't do that. Everyone does ego surfing, so I'm sure the companies do that as well. And Ruby was like, I don't do ego surf, and she's like, oh yeah, really? Let me see. Takes her phone and tries. You know what? Let me read. What did she search? Just a minute. All right, I'm going to read this part. Ruby Hoshino cute, Ruby Hoshino Pieon, Ruby-chan cute, Ruby Pieon. Oh boy. And you can see that there's like a few other like tweets that she has seen. Akane's like channel tweet like Twitter profile is there. Memcho's profile is there. Oh, Memcho is verified. I think that's a mark of verification. Akane isn't verified, which makes sense, I guess, because she's probably like a very new actress. Pieon is there, and Imagachi, that show, the reality TV show. So, okay. So yeah, like here Ruby talks, Arima talks about, like, gives a little bit of like the information that she has gotten to know from her, like jobs and everything. She tells that to Ruby. She's like, everyone does this, like the ego surfing, like whenever they're like outside with their like people, their friends, like in the same group. Yeah, they always do that while having a beer. And she's like people used to say that internet doesn't matter back in those days, but nowadays, nah, internet matters. If you're not able to show your online, if you're not able to become popular online, in socially, like in the social media circle, you're going to fall off in this type of situation. And we have to keep that in mind. And you can see here that while all this was happening, like Akane is kind of searching her profile, and she sees everyone talking about how she hasn't really much screen presence. People are like, oh, I don't care about her, she's okay, I guess, that type of thing, which is one of the worst things that could have happened in the showbiz business. Like, if there's a person who's like, oh, that character, like that person, she's fine, I don't have much like impression about them. That's the worst thing. In these type of things, having a good notoriety, oh my god, having a good reputation and a bad reputation, like, both of them is beneficial to that person. Being in the middle is the worst thing that could happen in these type of things. If you have a good reputation, that's the best scenario. If you have a bad reputation, you're still getting popular, people are searching you, people are watching you, people are looking at you. If people are really oh, she's kind of neutral, I don't really think much about them, bam, it's over. You won't get popular. And that's why you see nowadays in YouTube, I've seen this so much, actually troll channels trying to like giving out clickbaity titles, making people angry deliberately. I've seen so many YouTube channels like it's one thing, funny thing that I've seen is like a very popular show, anime, like a very popular anime, Yeah, on the, like, like on the title, it's like, this is why I hate this show. This show is, like, bad. And like a show which is like, loved by everyone, they're saying that about the show. Obviously, I doubt they've seen the show. They just did this because they just want a bad notoriety so that they can get popular. That's what's happening. So this is another fast and easy way to get popular in YouTube. Just say something really bad and weird and crazy, bam, everyone will watch your video. And everyone will be just, yeah, you will be, like, just like crushing your own, I guess you could say, self-reputation, self-respect, everything. You'll be just crushing them down, but you will get popular out of it. You'll get internet clout out of it. So yeah, it doesn't matter at the end of the day for them. If you're able to, like, like look at those thousands of comment cursing you and just, like, dissing you, if you're able to be fine with that, if you have that, like, strong of a heart, then I guess that's one way of getting internet clout. A lot of people can't do it, and like they have a little amount of self-respect, so they don't do it. So yeah, like, that is why, being normal in this type of situation is the worst thing that could happen. Either be notoriously bad or notoriously good, either of it. So Akane is in the middle position here, which is worse for this type of situation. And here we get to see Memcho actually talks about how she was a TikToker and she actually became a YouTuber. And like, while they were having this conversation with Kengo and everyone, Akane comes in and tries to, like, like, do something. Like, where Yuki and Nobu were talking, she comes in and she's like, "Oh, Nobu-kun, can you please come? Like, I have something to say." And there you go. The whole thing started from this point onwards. So you can see in the Twitter, people are like, "Oh, I almost forgot that girl's on the show. Her name is Akane, right?" You know what? I feel like, I feel like the one who probably is, like, the most, like, forgotten in this show is probably Aqua. Like, I'm sure nobody remembers Aqua is in this show because he doesn't care about this at all. But I guess, like, there was, like, that one scene in the beginning where like, like, Yuki kind of went and whispered something to Akane. I guess that kind of made him a little bit more popular, but I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, you can see that everyone's talking about, everyone's like, "Oh, it's better if Akane left the show. I want a new male cast member." Yeah, great. And you remember, we can see that Akane also asked one of the staff members that, "Oh, what can I do?" And they're like, "I'm not ordering you to do it, but you can just try to steal away the person." And that's how it's going to make you more, like, like, interesting on camera, make the whole thing more spicier. It's like, those who can pull off such a thing are the ones who make it big. And yeah, like, you can see that she's, like, trying to do that, like, talking with Nobu and everything. And here, from this point onwards, everything starts going a little bit, like, in the wrong direction. First of all, like I said, the whole nail scene happens here. Like, I talked about that in the beginning of the, like, discussion portion. What I'm saying here is that there is a 50% possibility of Yuki realizing that, oh, Akane is, like, like, trying to be more, like, like, trying to take more, like, like, audience screen time. So let me do something that's going to make the whole thing more spicier and draw attention to me again. And maybe that is why she did the whole nail thing and expected something that happened, like, where she got cut, like that happening in the future, and placed her bet like that to gain more, like, viewers, like, like, attention. Now, like I said, there's a 50% chance of that happening. Another 50% of me is thinking, like, it's impossible that she actually thought of this, anticipated all of these things happening in the future, and did it. So there's a part of me that's saying, like, thinking like, oh, maybe she did it anticipating this is going to happen, and there's a part of me that's thinking like, yeah, that's impossible. How can someone like anticipate so many things, and expect it to go like that? Like, so everything that happened was a coincidence. There's a part of me that thinks it's a coincidence that that whole incident happened. Part of me that thinks that this was deliberate. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, because she later on she kind of threw me off as well, because here in this part you can see her talking multiple times about how she says that, oh, I'm not going to give up. Okay, here's here's the part. I'm going to read what she says. Okay, that said, I won't let you. I'm going to fight to see that I stand out. Don't hold it against me, okay? This part is extremely suspicious. Like I said, like the fact that she also had the tweezers in her hand with the little ornament, that nail ornament, is also extremely suspicious, because that is the ornament, like that little thing that actually cut her, like like her face. So this part is making me so suspicious and making me think that this is all deliberate. She did this deliberately. Now, like I said, like I'm saying that she did this deliberately, but I actually don't think that she had any bad intentions in this. She just wanted the the audience's attention to her, and there is everyone that would do that here. Like I said, this is a battlefield. Everyone here will try their best to stand out. So like this is just part of the whole thing. I don't think she had any, even if this was deliberate, I doubt she had any bad intentions on this. She just wanted to do this to make the whole thing spicier and gain more, like gain back the people who were actually paying attention to her, gain back their attention again, to stand out. So it's not wrong. What she did here was perfectly fine, in my opinion, at least, because like I doubt she had any malice in her heart while she tried to do this. you know like I doubt she would have expected what happened in the future, where she, Akane, like actually that whole thing escalated in such a bad direction. I doubt she expected all of that to happen. When even if she did this deliberately, I doubt she expected that to happen. So I don't think she had any bad intentions. She just wanted to stand out, and that's why she just proclaimed here that I'm going to do everything to stand in your way, so don't hold it against me. There you go. So there you go. This is the 50% reason why I think she did this deliberately, this whole scene. And the other 50% reason why I think that this actually is all coincidental is because what happens later on, where after she gets cut, when the camera is not rolling, she was like, oh, it's fine, no problem, like this was a coincidence. And like she genuinely seemed very concerned about Akane. That made me think like, oh, maybe this is all a coincidence. And also the fact that how can someone just anticipate that all this is going to happen just from that one little thing she did by fixing her nails. Like, that's the other 50% reason why I think this was all a coincidence. So let's wait. I'm really curious as to see how this is going to go, if this was actually a coincidence or if it wasn't. Because like in the previous episode, we did establish a fact that there's more to, it seems, like there's more to this girl Yuki than it seems. She kind of manipulated Aqua in the beginning. Like, wasn't like manipulation is a very, like a very bad word, I guess you could say, but she kind of made, like a thing where, like the whole thing where she kind of whispered something to Aqua's ears, where the whole camera was like focused on that. She did that. So you can see that she is that type of a person who is going to do her best to stand out. So these are all the reasons why I'm thinking like maybe this is all part of her plan, but I don't know. Let's wait and watch. Now, obviously, then the next scene we get to see that whole scene where Yuki was like, oh, like Kengo, like there's Labrador. You like Labradors, don't you? And Kengo was like, really? Let's go. And while Akane was talking to him, and then Akane was like, no, stop! I gotta stop them, because obviously like she'll gain popularity again. The whole spotlight will move from her to her. So she tries to stop her. That thing, the little heart thing, which was kind of sticking out, actually, like, does like this, gets the like the cheek, and yeah, she's bleeding. So there you go. Now you can see that she's like heartbroken. The whole camera, like, the crew is like, okay, like stop recording, and wait, so obviously this is not happening live, so they decided to keep that to make it more spicier, I guess. So they decided to keep that whole section where she got hurt and show it to the people. Oh boy. And you can see here that, like I said, this part kind of makes me think that this was all a coincidence, because how Yuki acts from this point onwards, when Akane was like heartbroken, wasn't really listening, Yuki is like, Akane, like listen to me. And she just goes and like hugs her. And she's like, I'm alright, so just calm down, it's fine. Like you wanted to live up to everyone's expectation, try to become good. and this won't affect my work. Photoshop is there, this and that. Like she kind of says, and she's like, yeah, I like you too. You're a hard worker who tries her very best. So yeah, she says like they're not filming, so it's not acting. So I'm fine with it, really. I really like this is not part of the act. Like I said, this part makes me think maybe this was a coincidence. Like, I don't know. This part really convinced me that it was a coincidence, but at the same time, that part in the previous part, I'm kind of suspicious. Like, one part of me is suspicious, one part of it is like, oh, this is all a coincidence. So I'm not really sure. Let's wait. Anyways, you can see Aqua's looking at the whole situation, and he's like, had this been at school, it would have been one of those everyday things where the parties quickly make up after a little fight. Yeah, but even if people involved have resolved the issue, the internet is going to start a crusade from here onwards. Yep, and that is what happens. And yeah, like here we go. People are like, "Oh, this is the tip of the iceberg." There's no doubt Akane does stuff that's even more mean spirited when cameras aren't. Wow, like who the hell? This person is saying like, no doubt Akane does stuff that's even more mean spirited when the camera aren't rolling. What? All right, you know what? I feel like if I read these tweets, I'm gonna get more triggered because like this is actually reality. This is actually what happens in reality as well. Like, wow, like you know what? I'm so glad that this show exists because like people like this exists. These type of people who are just commenting like this, without even knowing the situation. People like this exist, and I'm sure a few of them at least will watch this show and they'll get like I hope they actually open their eyes and realize that wait a minute, that is me. Like what's happening here is exactly what I would do in this situation, and they'll realize how much of a like what can I say? How much of a bad thing that they does in these type of situation. Like they'll actually realize that what maybe like the things that I'm doing are actually kind of crappy. Like maybe I should stop doing it. Like I really like I doubt that's going to happen because people people are blind towards their own things. So half of the people probably won't realize, but like at least a few people I hope they realize that this is what you're doing actually. Like when you're angrily typing that tweet on your phone, like reading a post, just assuming stuff about that other person who you don't even know, and just giving like false narratives and whatever in your like, imagination, and like thousands of comments are commenting behind that and supporting you, and you're feeling good about it. You're like, what, maybe I am correct. However, you don't know what the hell is exactly happening on the other side. Those type of people, like I hope they actually realize watching this that, oh yeah, like this is actually me. Like this is what I do. Like that's the thing. Like I'm so glad about that. Like I'm glad that this show actually exists where they're actually showing what happens. What type of a circus is social media. This show is showing that, highlighting that the circus and the crazy stuff that happens in social media. This is exactly what happens. Exactly. There's no fabrication here. This is exactly what happens. Like people assume something about someone, then the whole world starts bashing them. In the end, probably it's proof that whatever happened there was not true. And then in comes the other drive of people who are like, oh, I believed you from the beginning. Like that type of thing. Like, my God, like it's just like, yeah. Here we go. Some more tweets. So Akane, she did this thing kind of before too. She's unqualified to appear on TV. Lol. She pisses me off. I can't believe a girl with zero presence laid a hand on Yuki. Lol. I bet they dropped Akane. Oh god. As a fan of love now, hear me out. You should have just stayed in the shadows without incident until the show was over. So why did you have to get the way in the last minute? Don't involve others in your selfish hysterics. You're a nuisance to the show. And then comes the next part of the the mistake that Akane does. She apologizes. In these type of situations where you're not at fault, unless and until you have like actual proof, or like you shouldn't really apologize like that. This is one thing I've learned from like watching so much social media drama and YouTube drama, that if you have proof with you, take that, then make an apology video and just show that on screen and be like, these are all the proof, there you go, like this is what happened, you know that's number one. Number two, if there is no proof, if it cannot really be proved, for example this situation, it cannot really be proved. How can you prove that this wasn't deliberate, or this was wasn't really deliberate? How can you prove that? You cannot prove it. In these type of situations, I feel like the best thing to do, like if you really are innocent, that's what I'm saying. If you really are innocent, and if people are misunderstanding you, and you've done nothing wrong, in these type of situations, what you do is just ignore it and let it go. Let it just go. 1 week, 2 week, 4 weeks, maybe 2 months. Just stay low and let it just go away, because you cannot really prove it. You cannot really do anything in this type of situation. So just lay low and just let it pass away. Yeah, obviously the people will still you'll have a bad reputation, but in this type of situation you cannot really do anything. And what you're going to do after this whole thing washes over is try to do something good and better, and show the people that what, like when they realize, like what, maybe I was wrong about this girl is a good person, and try to prove it to them with your with what you do. And like do it like that. So I feel like this is the only way. Like I said, if you're able to prove it, then take your proof and then make an apology video or whatever. If you cannot, and if you know that you're not in the wrong, you're innocent, just let it go. Just let it go away. If you make an apology, like what Akane did here, like she just made a little tweet that, oh, I apologize, this happened, I should have. No, people are going to get even more madder at you. They're going to crucify you. Like here she says, I have heard the views of a great number of people. I'm sorry. Oh wait, no. Oh sorry, I misunderstood this part. Wait. Oh, she couldn't actually apologize. Oh, wait. Okay, something else happened here. Okay, wait a minute. She says, I thought that if I sincerely apologized, people would forgive me. Due to my contract for the show, I wasn't allowed to talk about anything that wasn't on the show. Oh. But if I explained myself as best as I could and apologized. Oh no, she did tweet it. Oh, okay, I was correct. Alright, she did tweet it. There you go. Alright. I was thinking, then why did it suddenly heighten the whole situation? How did it get flared up? So she tried to explain herself and apologize. Okay, there you go. Alright. For a moment I thought she didn't actually. And she stopped because her contract stopped her from doing it. But yeah, she did it. And there you go. Like I said, like I explained, if you try to only apologize without any proof or without anything, oh my god, people are going to get you. Yeah. Crazy world out there, yeah. And here Memcho says here, Memcho actually tells her, and I like I said, Memcho would be the perfect person to know about these type of situations because she's a YouTuber. Like I said, I've seen my fair share of YouTube dramas and crazy stuff. And there's so many times I've seen how I saw something happening, and I saw how people were all against certain someone who did something wrong allegedly, and then after a few weeks that person brings out actual proof about the whole situation, and tells, gives all of that, and all these things, and apologizes and whatever, does all of that thing, and there you go. Then everyone starts sympathizing with that person. Unless and until you have proof, don't apologize. If you do it like this, you're going to be fanning the flames. That's all you'll be doing in these type of situations. And it's crazy how just people, this whole mob mentality, one person throws stone at you, everyone will follow them and do the same thing, especially in social media. Because typing a tweet, nobody it's very simple. You're not people are not seeing other person's face. This is another interesting thing. This whole the fact that you're actually anonymous is also something that heightens this whole mob mentality, because you can just tweet something and nobody will know who you are and what you are, this whole thing. And if like if you were like in front of that person, you won't be able to say the same things that you're tweeting because the other person knows you and they'll see your face. Like that type. I remember there being like, I remember reading somewhere, or like like learning somewhere, that there was like a social experiment where like a person, like like there was like a person, like it was like a social experiment where they did, where they kind of made like a, I don't know, like a survey or whatever, to see that what was that, just a minute. Oh yeah, I remember. There was like a social experiment where there was like one person who had a camera on them, and there was like a group of audience with masks, like looking at that person and like watching what they're doing, like in their everyday life or whatever. And like the audience had the power of voting and making the person on camera do something. Like like for example, like there's like a person there, they voted that, oh, that he should go over there and just flip the table. Like there's like someone eating something, like they voted that, oh, this person should get up, go there and flip the whole, like food on their, like clothes. If that one, they had to go and do it, something like that, I remember. And like, and the audience would have a big hearty laugh, with like like with the whole thing. And then I remember, since like everyone was like wearing masks, like nobody shows their faces. And then I remember, like the camera, like the crew, they did something crazy where they decided to prank the audience, where they made it seem as if that guy got in an accident because of the audience's input. And the audience became like, like they realized like, oh no, this is actually happening. Up until that previous point, they were like all taking this as a joke because their face were not being shown. They're anonymous, they can do whatever the hell they can. Nobody will see them, nobody will judge them, nobody will look at them. That is basically social media. You're in a mask, nobody knows you. You can say whatever the hell you want to, and that's it. That's all it takes. You don't understand how this one little tweet can affect someone on the other side. And that is what happened here, especially people for like Akane, who takes everything very seriously. A nice girl like her, a person who's like honest to a fault, she's going to take this in a very harsh way. If this happened to Memcho, I feel like Memcho would have just brushed everything aside and wouldn't really care about it. She's a strong individual. At least that's how I think. I might be completely wrong though, I don't know. But anyways, that's how I get the impression of Memcho. However, Akane in this situation, she read all of that. She was reading all of that, like things. And here, like I said, Memcho said here that if you committed a wrong, it's okay if I cast stones, right? Something like that. Apologizing is seen as a reasonable thing to do by Japanese people, but it's worst tactic for combating a storm of criticism online. There you go, just like I said. So yeah, and Memcho again, like like explains that these type of situations, people shouldn't look at those criticisms. But since this is Akane we're talking about, she's a nice person, she's a person who takes everything seriously. They take the comments seriously head on and view them very seriously. Yeah, and that is where it goes wrong. And you can see that Akane is like getting stressed out little by little in his home. He's not telling his mother, going to school, like listening to people just talk bad about her. Comes back home. Now in the like there's like this one tweet, like my god, this is so trashy. Like there's like this tweet like where some anonymous, like I said, anonymous, nobody knows you. It makes it so easy to just bash other people because nobody knows your face. Scum like her are the product of a mother who didn't raise them right. It's a vicious circle. Wow. Oh my god, this is so. A case like this really gives away someone's upbringing. Yeah, it is certainly giving up, like these other persons, how they were. Like, what the hell is this? Like, it's so crazy. Like, I'm getting more triggered because I'm realizing this is actually reality. This is what happens. Those raised with a parent that beats them become people who are quickly. What? Those raised with a parent that beats them become people who are quick to lay their hands on. What is this person talking about? So this person is saying like parents beating their kids is actually making them be. Weird logic. What the hell? Yeah, typical. Freaking like triggering comments. What the hell is this? This is too real. what? What? This isn't an anime. This is reality. What? Good God. All right. You know what? I'm going to stop reading the tweets. This is getting actually triggering. All right. So you can see that like Akane is like very like heartbroken, and wait a minute. Oh, okay. There was like a photograph I was looking at on. It was on Akane's desk, wasn't it? There's a few people over there. For a moment, I thought the guy with the glasses. I thought, isn't that guy? The Aqua's previous like life, but no, probably not. Like I'm like it's some other. He looks awfully similar to how he looked like. But anyways, yeah, this is something unrelated, I guess. Anyways, so yeah, you can see that she's like completely heartbroken. She remembers like her past, where she used to look at the television, get like excited about being an actress. Then she gives her all for this job, like practices hard, you know while like everyone in the background. This part was really well done, I have to say, where you can see that how Akan is working so hard, while in the background everyone's like talking smack about her and saying like, oh, she doesn't really have to struggle, she doesn't really have to do anything. And it's so funny, the ironical situation here is that the people who are talking smack are the people who are actually the ones who are carefree. They are acting, taking the high ground by like acting as if like they're like some kind of a like person who can like pass judgment on others. They're like, oh, she's so carefree. While ironic that the person who's saying this is probably the most carefree one, because they don't know what Akane is doing. Akane is giving her all for everything, that like she's going back home, practicing, doing her schoolwork, like practicing again, and trying her best to just like be someone better, be a better actress, while these people are just talking smack about her. Okay, one comment, this person is like, she's probably never once put her heart and soul into doing something, while we're literally watching her put her heart and soul doing everything. Like, this is crazy. like like this is a thing, like, you shouldn't really be bad to other people, like, don't be nasty to other people. You don't know what they are going through. Like, it's very easy to just judge someone from the get-go and say all of these things, but unless and until you are on their shoes and living their life, don't try to judge someone. Like, you don't know what they are going through in their lives. Like, I don't know what else. Hmm. So she's still reading the the reviews and everything, and you can see that she's like, oh, I cannot take this anymore. She gets up, and oh my god, there's one part where I just realized that they're actually like like leaking her private, I guess, private information or something. They're her childhood pictures and everything, like they're just showing on the social media, probably her friends, you know. And here you go. Her days as an entertainer is over. No one is going to hire someone who slapped a model's prized face. Lol. Anyway, Akane is pretty damn ugly. Yeah, you think she's pretty ugly? Yeah, okay. She has a sinister looking face, doesn't she? Her days as an entertainer are over. No one's gonna hire someone who slapped a model. Alright, okay, great. Bye bye, Akane. I'm afraid we won't be seeing you on TV anymore. And you can see that she drops the phone. You can see that she's in a haze. And this part, I have to read this part, because here you can see in the group chat, I think she wrote something like, okay, Nobu said like, are you alright, Akane? Have you been eating properly? Memcho's like, we're all worried about you. And Akane's like, oh, come to think of it, I haven't ate anything. And she's like out on the streets, raining, and she like probably group message that, oh, I'm gonna go pick up some food. And Nobu's like, don't go now. There's a typhoon, lol. Like, because obviously he thought that, oh, she's just joking or something. He didn't really understand the severity of the situation. Uh, and I think this is the part where Aqua probably realized that, okay, something's going to go wrong. And Aqua immediately probably came out of his house, trying to see where Akane is. And yeah, like Akane is just stands up on the railing, tries to jump, but then Aqua comes in and grabs her, and he's like, "Calm down. I'm not your enemy. Please calm down." And that's where it ended. So there you go. Another episode of reality slapped in our face and making us understand what a trashy place the social media is. And yeah, like just like that is why, like I feel like I'm not in, and this is the reason why I'm not really in any social media, because I feel like even if I don't tweet anything about me or myself, the fact that being in social media, I'm going to read other people's tweets, and like obviously when you read other people's tweet, you're going to go to the comment section, and you're going to see like half of the people just having no clue about what they're talking, but they're like talking as if they know everything about it. you know like more than half of the people like acting like this on social media. So that is why I think I like opened like a Twitter like something at the beginning of my YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, I'm going to just plug this in, and then I realized, like, you know what, I can't be bothered. Like I really cannot be bothered. I don't really post anything on social media. I have an Instagram gram account. I remember before doing YouTube, I used to post like anime pictures and like giving my opinions on anime and reviews and stuff over there. It's still there, and that's all I used to do. I'd never really like post, never I ever post anything about myself. I don't understand what people gets by posting something about themselves. Like, at least it doesn't come to me. I don't like posting about myself or what's happening to me or stuff like that. But I do know that this is kind of important, especially for a channel, for a YouTube channel, to be socially active. But still, I haven't really, like, I'm not really active in social media because I don't really like the whole social media thing. I know it's important if you want to be a YouTuber and stuff, but I still don't do it. I'm just here on YouTube on my channel, just talking about the stuff that I like, and here discussing about a show for 1 hour, just like I'm doing now. Like, good lord, this has been this has been a big discussion. I've been discussing about this for 1 hour. I need to stop now. All right, I'm going to end this here. Thanks for watching, guys. This was a crazy episode, my god, and yeah. Like, thankfully, Aqua was able to stop what was going to happen. And I was really concerned by the end. I was thinking, like I said, this show actually killed off one character in the first episode. So I was actually concerned whether they're going to kill another character or something. But thankfully that didn't happen. So yeah, that is it, guys. I'm going to stop now. Like I said, this show makes me talk so much about so many things. It drags out the discussion section so much. It's actually crazy. So thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Oshi. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.